Good evening, everyone. Welcome to NTD Tonight. I'm David Zhang. Here's a preview of some of today's top stories. Florida Governor Ron Desantis has officially dropped out of the race. How his exit will affect Haley's campaign, and what to expect in the upcoming New Hampshire primary. Thousands brave the California rain to make their voices heard. More on this year's annual Walk for Life West Coast rally. A week-long strike. Thousands of faculty from the largest public university system in the U.S. are demanding better pay. Florida Governor Ron Desantis has officially dropped out of the 2024 presidential race and endorsed the former rival Donald Trump. Trump praised DeSantis for the decision, saying it was a gracious move. Despite enjoying a double-digit lead in New Hampshire over Nikki Haley, the former president is calling on voters there to disregard those strong poll numbers and make sure to cast their ballots. NTD's White House correspondent Iris Tao has more from Trump's rally last night.
Former President Trump on Sunday night thanked Governor Ron Desantis for endorsing him and for the first time in months stopped calling him sanctimonious.
He was very gracious and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that, and I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat crooked Joe Biden. We will have to get him out.
DeSantis, while saying this just on Saturday,
I will win the election,
changed 180 degrees on Sunday.
We don't have a clear path to victory.
That's after he finished at a distant second place in Iowa and is polling only at single digits in both New Hampshire and South Carolina.
But we don't have any bad polls. We really don't. And our best polls are against Biden.
And while Nikki Haley is now the only remaining GOP rival, Trump is maintaining double-digit leads in 3 different polls in New Hampshire just days before the Tuesday primary. And DeSantis' exit is not expected to help Nikki Haley that much either, as a new CNN poll released just hours before DeSantis' announcement shows that over 60% of DeSantis supporters say that Trump is their second choice. And despite having strong lead in polls, Trump is telling his supporters to not believe in polls and just go out and vote. He says he needs a very strong margin to be able to send a clear signal across the country about November and to overcome any potential election fraud. Reporting in New Hampshire, Iris Tao, NTD News.
Make sure you don't miss our special coverage of the New Hampshire primary. Join NTD's Steve Lance and Tiffany Meyer on The Nation Decides 2024 for exclusive on-the-ground access and special guests. Watch the action live tomorrow, January 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now let's take a look at other top headlines. Today is the 51st anniversary of Roe v. Wade. Biden held a meeting for the Task Force on Reproductive Health Care Access as the administration prepares to announce new actions relating to contraception and patient rights to emergency medical care. In battleground states, Biden campaign hit the airwaves with its first abortion-focused ad of the year.
I'm an OBGYN in Texas and a mother of 3.
Featuring stark emotional testimony from a woman personally affected by a state abortion ban who lays the blame directly on former President Donald Trump. The campaign did not detail how much money was behind the ad. In a Wisconsin rally, Vice President Kamala Harris directly placed the blame on Trump for being responsible for the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
The former president handpicked 3 Supreme Court justices because he intended for them to overturn Roe. He intended for them to take your freedoms.
The push marks the campaign's first organized effort to emphasize the abortion issue. A judge on Monday ordered court records of the divorce proceedings of a special prosecutor, Nathan Wade, who is handling the Georgia election interference case against the former President Donald Trump, be made public. The court will also decide on whether Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis will be deposed. A motion filed last week by Trump's defense attorney in the election case alleges that Willis was involved in a romantic relationship with attorney Nathan Wade. Among the unsealed court filing are credit card statements showing that Nathan Wade, after he had been hired as a special prosecutor, bought plane tickets in their names to San Francisco, Miami, and other tourist destinations. Nathan's wife says in the filing that there appears to be no reasonable explanation for their travels apart from a romantic relationship. Legal analysts have said that Wade will not be qualified to handle the Trump-Georgia election case if he's engaging in an inappropriate extramarital affair with the county DA who paid him to prosecute the Trump case, and the DA Willis should also resign due to conflict of interest. Previously, Willis has attempted to quash the subpoena for the court records related to Wade's divorce proceedings to be unsealed. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that Border Patrol agents are allowed to remove razor wires installed by Texas. Last year, Republican Governor Greg Abbott's administration had placed the razor wires in the Rio Grande to prevent illegal border crossings, saying Texas has a right to protect itself from the influx of crossings. Texas sued the Biden administration after federal border agents cut through some of the razor wire. Texas claimed the move damaged the state property and was considered trespassing. Biden administration officials say the wires prevent border agents from reaching people who have already crossed the border into the U.S. The Fifth Circuit Appeals Court last month ordered the Border Patrol agents to stop removing razor wire unless faced with an emergency situation, as the legal battle plays out. However, federal officials appealed that decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, resulting in the High Court favoring the Biden administration. The Fifth Circuit is currently weighing the legal questions around whether the federal government has the authority to cut the wire that Texas installed. A hearing for oral arguments is set for February 7th. Dexter Scott King, the younger son of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, has passed away after a struggle with prostate cancer. NTD's Christina Corona has more.
The King Center in Atlanta announced that the 62-year-old son of the civil rights icon, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., died on Monday at his California residence. His wife, Weber King, said in a statement, "He transitioned peacefully in his sleep at home with me in Malibu." She added, "He gave it everything and battled this terrible disease until the end." Dexter King, named after the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Alabama, where his father served as pastor, was only 7 years old when his father was tragically assassinated in 1968. In his adulthood, Dexter King dedicated himself to preserving his father's legacy and safeguarding the intellectual property of the King family. At the time of his passing, Dexter King held the position of chairman at the King Center. Christina Corona, NTD News.
Coming from humble beginnings, Walk for Life West Coast has grown to be one of the largest pro-life events in the nation. San Francisco hosted thousands at the annual gathering over the weekend. NTD's Jason Blair reports.
The Walk for Life West Coast held its annual event in San Francisco on Saturday. Despite the rain, thousands came out to make their voices heard.
We're from all over California supporting pro-life.
A large crowd rallied in front of City Hall before the walk.
The future belongs to children, and the future belongs to families, raising those children.
1/3 of our generation has been killed by abortion. These are our brothers, our sisters, our aunts, our uncles, our neighbors.
I just wanted to represent my school and get some more knowledge and like hands-on experience out here.
Dozens of counter-protesters gathered across the street in a separate area. They made their message heard with signs, chants, and a small marching band. There was a heavy police presence and things remained civil between the two groups with nothing escalating. San Francisco is a largely pro-choice city. Despite that, it's been the host of what's now the West Coast's largest pro-life event for 20 years now.
San Francisco is a great city.
So it's important for people to realize that there's a lot of people inside the city who are pro-life.
The group marched downtown, ending at the city's Embarcadero Plaza. Jason Blair, NTD News, San Francisco.
Faculty at the largest public university system in the U.S. are holding a week-long strike to demand higher wages. California State University's 23 campuses could see classes getting canceled.
California Faculty Association, the union representing CSU faculty, said thousands of professors, librarians, coaches, and other workers walked off the job Monday. This comes 2 weeks after CSU officials ended contract negotiations with an offer of a 5% pay raise this year, starting January 31st. The union had asked for 12%. The union says CSUs have $766 million in emergency reserves and can afford the salary increases. But the college and the reserves are meant for times of economic uncertainty or emergencies, including wildfires or earthquakes.
We'll take a short break now, everybody, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. The first In-N-Out closure. Find out why California location is shutting down after over 18 years. Thieves in California target everything from cash to cars, but one woman was caught stealing Stanley water bottle cups. What's happening with the college of football eligibilities? What can we expect at this weekend's NFL championship games? Those stories and more coming up on NTD Tonight. Welcome back to NTD Tonight. I'm your host, David Zhang. For the first time, In-N-Out announced that they are closing down a location in California. The reason is not due to low sales, but an uptick in crime.
In a statement on Sunday, In-N-Out said it has decided to close its first location in Oakland near the airport due to rampant crime. The company's COO said, despite taking repeated steps to create safer conditions, our customers and associates are regularly victimized by car break-ins, property damage, theft, and armed robberies. The location will remain open until March 24th. Employees are given the choice to transfer to a nearby In-N-Out location or receive a severance package. The Oakland location has been around for over 18 years. The location has been a busy and profitable one, but the company's priority is the safety of their customers and employees.
I'm well informed about In-N-Out Burger because that's a very profitable location, but the crime is just impossible for them to survive over there because the city has really taken a hands-off approach to crime and public safety. So there's no way for a lot of businesses to survive in Oakland right now.
In a previous interview with NTD, Chris Moore, a candidate running for Alameda County Supervisor, said increasing crime is hurting small businesses.
People are afraid to live in Oakland. There's businesses, 6,000 businesses stopped paying business tax last year. That means 6,000 businesses closed, right? So every small business, it's primarily impacting the Black and brown and immigrant communities. They are hurt the most. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their cars being stolen.
City leaders have been blamed for the failed policies that led to the uptick in crime.
They really went crazy about this whole defund the police and don't have police. But the majority of residents in Oakland, they pay taxes. As business owners, we demand our taxes be used for public safety.
Oakland auto theft has increased 44% in 2023 compared to 2022. The Shell gas station near the airport has gone viral for being a regular target for thieves. Car rental companies at the airport warn visitors to watch your belongings when getting gas there.
The craze over Stanley water bottles reached the new heights in California when one woman was arrested for stealing 65 of them, valued at nearly $2,500. NTD's Christina Corona has more on the story.
The Roseville Police Department was called to a reported theft from a retail store on the 6000 block of Stanford Ranch Road on January 17th. According to their statement on Facebook, staff saw a woman take a shopping cart full of Stanley water bottles without paying for them. The suspect refused to stop for staff and stuffed her car with the stolen merchandise. A law enforcement officer noticed the suspect's vehicle as it entered Highway 65 from Galleria Boulevard and proceeded to conduct a a traffic stop. Pictures released by the Roseville Police Department show the suspect's car trunk and passenger seat stuffed with a variety of water bottles. The unnamed woman, 23 from Sacramento, was arrested for grand theft. Stanley's Quencher Cup, which holds 40 fluid ounces and is priced at $45, has gained massive popularity in recent months, driven by a trend fueled by social media. Christina Corona, NTD News.
A Texas second grader uses her allowance to craft heartwarming goodie bags for the homeless. NTD's Stephanie Sikal has the story.
A compassionate second grader named Davani Jaramillo from Levelland, Texas, used her own money to help the homeless in her community during winter. Encouraged by her giving nature, Davani initiated a project to distribute 100 goodie bags filled with over 20 items, including hygiene products and snacks. She bought everything using her allowance. With the support of friends and family, she successfully completed the task and delivered the surplus bags to locations like St. Benedict's Chapel, benefiting an estimated 200 people. Despite her shyness, Davani made friends while delivering the bags and is already planning to create summer goodie bags. Her motivation, she said, is rooted in the belief that everyone needs help sometimes. Despite Davani's reluctance for attention, her mother Debbie shared her story on social media, gathering appreciation from the community for her kindness. Stephanie Sikal, NTD News.
Now for some sports with NTD's Carlos Reyes. We've heard that Miami tight end Cam McCormick is making history with the 9th season of college football. So Carlos, can you shed some light on this unprecedented situation?
Absolutely. It's quite a remarkable story. Cam McCormick, at 25 years old, is set to play his 9th season, making him the first to be granted such an extension by the NCAA. His journey has been filled with setbacks, including multiple season-ending injuries, medical redshirts, and the extra year of eligibility due to the pandemic. McCormick was a part of the 2016 recruiting class, the same high school class as NFL stars Jalen Hurts and Nick Bosa, both who've had successful careers in the league up to this date. After transferring to Miami for the 2023 season, McCormick is set to continue in 2024, making history at the major college football level.
That's incredible resilience from McCormick. Now, can you elaborate on his career path and the challenges he faced?
McCormick's journey has indeed been a roller coaster. He spent 7 seasons at Oregon facing various injuries that impacted his playing time. Despite 6 surgeries, he made it through the 2022 season at Oregon, the 2023 season at Miami, and is now gearing up for another year. Playing for 5 different head coaches and catching passes from 6 different quarterbacks, including Justin Herbert, who's now in the NFL, showcases his perseverance.
Now, onto another twist in the college football saga. Talia Tagovailoa has been denied a 6th year of eligibility. What's the latest on this?
Yes, there's controversy surrounding Talia Tagovailoa. Despite a strong plea of support from Coach Nick Saban in Alabama, Tagovailoa's waiver for an additional year of eligibility has been denied. He played 5 seasons, becoming the Big Ten's all-time passing leader at Maryland. The denial centers around Alabama's future to track 2 snaps he took in the season-opening game against Duke, ultimately leading to Tagovailoa's decision to enter this year's upcoming draft.
Yeah, tough break for Tagovailoa. Now, how did the waiver case unfold and what are his plans now?
Well, the waiver request was centered around Tagovailoa playing in 5 games as the 3rd-string quarterback at Alabama in 2019, just surpassing the redshirt threshold. Unfortunately, the request was denied, and Tagovailoa will now focus on training for the upcoming NFL draft. Despite the setback, he's still projected as a day 3 pick and hopes to make the most out of his career at the professional level.
Now, can you explain why McCormick was awarded a 9th year of eligibility while Tagovailoa kept getting the shorter end of the stick?
Certainly, David. Cam McCormick's case is unique due to multiple season-ending injuries, medical redshirts, and the NCAA's decision to grant an extra year of eligibility to all players who participated in college athletics in 2020 because of the pandemic, something that a lot of people tend to forget. On the other hand, Tagovailoa's denial is surrounded by a specific set of circumstances that are quite unfortunate to say the least. Despite playing 5 seasons, denial is linked to the intricacies of the redshirt rule and Alabama's failure to track 2 snaps he took in 2019 season opener against Duke. The controversy lies in the consistency of the NCAA's decisions regarding eligibility extensions.
Now, wrapping up here, the conference championship games are set in the NFL. Can you tell us what to expect this upcoming weekend?
Of course, David. First up, let's talk AFC. In a clash of titans, the Kansas City Chiefs, led by the incomparable Patrick Mahomes, will face off against the Baltimore Ravens, who boast the rare combination of a first-team All-Pro quarterback in Lamar Jackson and the league's top-scoring defense. This matchup has all the makings of an absolute classic, and history suggests that teams with this dual-threat trend tend to hoist the Lombardi Trophy when it's all said and done. Can Mahomes work his magic against Jackson and the formidable Ravens defense? The Chiefs are no strangers to the AFC title game, but this year they bring along arguably the best defense of the Mahomes era. Turning our attention to the NFC, the Detroit Lions are set to take on the San Francisco 49ers in a battle of resilience and redemption. The 49ers, hungry for Super Bowl glory since 1994, will be making their 7th NFC Championship game appearance in the last decade. Coach Kyle Shanahan aims to surpass the legendary Bill Walsh in postseason win percentage, but standing in his way is a determined Detroit team led by veteran quarterback Jared Goff. Goff, a Rams castoff, has become one of the feel-good stories of the season, guiding the Lions to historic victories.
All right, sure. Looks like some exciting games is coming Sunday. Well, thank you so much for your analysis, Carlos.
No problem, David. It's always my pleasure.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on NTD Tonight every weekday at 9 p.m. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.